Guys, welcome back to Two Fat Guys Talking Football. Here we are back in beautiful Westwood.
Yes, no more Cabazon.
No more Indio.
No more Indio.
I got to say, though, I feel a very huge amount of pride for introducing my man Sam here to the McDonald's Hot Fudge Sundae.
Quick story. So what are we now? 19 days removed from the last video we filmed, and 2 UCLA wins, interestingly enough, which we'll get to later.
Yeah, but P.S. Apologize for our absence. My car was in the shop for 7 hours, I want to say, last week.
Right.
And kind of took precedence.
It was midterm season for me. I failed all of them, so it turns out studying doesn't help. Anyway.
You're putting way too much time into Two Fat Guys Talking Football.
So I'm at my apartment, and there's a receipt on the coffee table.
This is awful.
You know, I've blocked the McDonald's in Indio out of my memory by now. So I pick up the receipt, and there's 2 items on it. The first is 1 hot fudge sundae.
Not too weird.
Yeah, that's fine. The next is another hot fudge sundae with extra fudge for an extra 23 cents. And I'll let you figure out which one ordered extra fudge.
Please don't throw me under the fudge bus.
It may or may not have been John.
Anyway. Please don't throw me under the fudge bus.
You have been thrown. Anyway.
I've been thrown. All right, guys, we're here talking UCLA football coming off, I think, unquestionably the pivotal win in Rick Neuheisel's tenure. 29-28 over Arizona State last Saturday at the Rose Bowl. Puts them tied for first in the Pac-12 South race. But more importantly, I think what it does is it shows that there's still some life in this team.
Yeah.
And there wasn't last time we chatted.
To me, it totally changed the mentality because, you know, they were on the loss, win, loss. And, you know, they had that game in hand. I mean, it was never in hand, but, you know, they go up a point. And I don't know about you, but at that point I was thinking, with 47 seconds left, somehow ASU is going to win this game. I don't know if you thought the same thing.
Well, it's not that I thought that they were going to win. I think it's that we thought UCLA was going to lose. You know, I think UCLA has proven so many times.
They almost did.
Yeah.
Aaron Hester PI. What else was there? That weird play where they fumbled forward.
Yeah.
That was an odd last drive, to say the least.
But you know, what does UCLA do? They hold them, you know, to a 46, 47-yard field goal attempt, which is crucial to them that it was that long, and the kick sails woefully short, and you know, they pour onto the field, and you know, the looks that you saw on the players' faces running onto that field, and I got a great video kind of that celebration, and just it wasn't even relief. I think the difference is the win over Cal was like, oh my God, thank God, following that Arizona debacle we won. That was just pure like, oh my God, we needed that. This was utter joy and excitement, and the look of a team that feels like it can do this more often.
Yeah, I've been a student here for 3 years. You've been on the beat for 3 years. Is this your 4th?
Third.
Okay, yeah. So we're the same age in UCLA years, right?
Dog years.
I don't pretend to have been here in the Donahue days or whatever, but I don't remember a time when the Rose Bowl was like that.
No,
I don't know if you did.
Absolutely not. I wrote about that. Yeah, it was nuts.
I mean, you know, you have Arameda Alanian doing the Lambeau Leap. A few players tried to do the Lambeau Leap.
Holmes trying.
I won't name who tried and failed at the Lambeau Leap.
I just did.
But you just did.
Did I just throw him under the fudge bus?
He may or may not be under the fudge bus with you. I mean, there was no reason to do Lambeau Leaps even last week when they won the game. So now against Cal. So now 2 weeks in a row. You know, like I said, totally changes the mentality of it to me. And you know, now going forward, they went from embarrassed on national television and people coming in swinging their helmets in a fight to, you know, now they're leading the Pac-12 South Division. Dropped by Joseph for you, by the way. They're leading the Pac-12 South Division. They're likely going to a bowl game, and you know, a lot of that will depend on this week. But you know, bowl games were the last thing on anyone's mind in Arizona.
I mean, as far as UCLA was just 19 days ago, to where they are now, and you know, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, if we win out, I'll forget any of that." Just how far down they were after that Arizona State game or that Arizona game. I think it's honestly kind of shocking to me that they haven't just come back, and that's what we were kind of talking about. It wasn't just the Cal win, which was against not a very good team, while convincing. Probably didn't make a lot of people feel, oh, things have changed. That Arizona State game, things look like they might have changed.
This turnaround, these last 19 days, covering a team. Granted, I haven't done it for a long time, but that's unlike anything I've ever seen. Following a team.
I agree. But something that you mentioned earlier, trap game coming up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up next. Is to me, they changed from this whole we're in the race and we deserve to be in big games and all that before the Arizona game, which obviously didn't work out.
Yeah.
To this, we're going one game at a time. We're only focusing on X team ahead of us or whatever. But whether or not you're saying we're focusing on the next team, to me, this game coming up in Salt Lake City at a tough place to play at elevation, it's cold, is the picturesque trap game to me.
Yeah, the reason why I don't really quite see it as a trap game is because the attitude has changed in that regard. To me, a trap game is almost like USC's game last week against Colorado, where it's huge game against Notre Dame, huge game against Stanford, and then a whatever. Utah's a good team. I think UCLA knows that they're a good team. Their strengths are counter to UCLA's. They're good run defense, good run offense. They've really kind of shifted their offense, to John White and away from the passing game. Credit to Norm Chow, who we'll talk about in a sec. But the reason I don't look at it as a trap game is I think this team is into it. I think this team gets, the stakes right now.
Okay, but forget about UCLA. Let's talk about Norm Chow. Okay. He's, contributing to the fact that this is a picturesque trap game for me because he knows the ins and outs of the pistol offense.
Does he? I mean, they didn't run it well last year.
He thought he did.
No, I don't think he thinks he did. I think he kind of understands that wasn't his forte. I think that was one of the reasons that he's not here anymore.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't studying film every week.
Of course. Yeah. And obviously he is going to have that leg up and everything like that. But at the same time, the pistol wasn't his baby. So I don't think he is going to be, I don't think he's going to say, well, I know what they're going to do on this play. You bring in Jim Mastro, you bring in Mike Johnson. The last 2 weeks, the pistol has run, honestly, pretty flawlessly. The way Kevin Prince has run things, 224 rushing yards the last 2 weeks, and he's at a point now in this run game where I think he kind of understands it.
But to me, again, why it's a trap game is because...
So you think it's a trap game?
I might. Anyway.
What you're saying is it's a trap game.
So look at what happened last week against ASU, right?
Yeah.
ASU wins the toss and says, we want the ball because we don't want UCLA to get the lead, right? So they come down. What did they do?
Is that why Arizona State said that? Or is it because they thought they could pass all day over UCLA?
Well, this is my point with the whole pistol thing.
Okay.
Is if they don't have the lead, it's screwed.
And you've said that before, and I think that's a very pressing point. I think that's a very...
So let's say Utah takes the ball, comes down, pounds John White for a touchdown, goes up 7-zip. Maybe Josh Smith fumbles another kick return, and then they're having to play catch-up like they did at Arizona, and it was just awful.
Yeah, and I think the worst thing that can happen to this team for UCLA, we've seen what happens when this team goes down big. They cave. They can't afford that against Utah. They can't afford that right now. The train's starting to roll.
Yeah.
You're starting to get a little momentum. Maybe it's about here. And the problem with UCLA is, can't you just see it just derail in spectacular fashion?
Yeah, I did.
It's not
I did. In 2007, I went to the game where UCLA was ranked number 11 in the country. The last time they were ranked, matter of factly. Came in, Ben Olsen was, he had beat him up the year before at the Rose Bowl.
Thousand Oaks Ben Olsen.
He was, billed to be, this and that. He comes in, Utah won 44-6.
Yeah.
And, UCLA immediately fell out of the polls. Carl Darrell ends up getting fired. It all kind of spun out of control from there.
Yeah. And that's something that UCLA needs to prevent. They need to be the consistent team that they've been the last 2 weeks. And consistency, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. It's all season long. I think finally they're starting to get some consistency now, and that's something that this team needs.
But this consistency has been over the course of 2 home games.
True.
Last time they went on the road
Very good
was
point.
September 17th, I think, at Oregon State.
Very good point.
Which seems like years ago at this point. So, this is not only a test of can they be consistent, but it's can they win on the road in a tough place to play.
Sam, let's break this down real quick. Quick Utah scouting report from a guy who went to where Bountiful High. Is that
Bountiful
it?
High School, yeah. I'm going to take you
How
by
stoked are you? No, you're not. I don't
I
want
am.
to. We're not doing the Sam Strong Memorial
We're
Tour.
touring the
Oh
halls
my
of Bountiful
God.
High School, where you can see all the portraits they've hung of me all across the walls.
If there's one single port, my goal is for on one wall to be you, and then on some other wall somewhere else to be Chaz
Please
Bono.
say Chaz Bono.
Of course I was gonna. What do you think I was gonna say there? I'm not gonna say George Clooney.
Okay.
That'd be accurate too, though.
Getting back to it,
Yeah.
I know Utah football
Scouting report.
fairly well. You know, like you were saying before, the things they do well are the things UCLA doesn't do well, and vice versa. John White's a great running back. UCLA's run defense, I don't know. But UCLA runs the pistol pretty well, and Utah's run defense is second in the conference.
Yeah.
So if it's like Rick Neuheis is saying, and it's, you know, pound it out, you know, it's going to be like a 6-3 game or something like that. I might give the edge to Utah because I think they're a little more physical than UCLA is.
And you know, this obviously, I think what we've seen now is UCLA kind of wake up. I think we've seen the last couple of weeks they're playing with a different kind of energy. They're playing with a different kind of acumen. Kind of, you know, they're being smarter about things. And I think you know, this really is going to be a big game for them.
Yeah, I think
We'll see if, you know, UConn can throw them under the fudge bus.
you know,
My goal is for that to become a new term.
I think Utah wins the game if they hold UCLA to under 30 points.
If Utah scores more points, I have a good shot at winning the game.
There you go.
I have a good shot.
And maybe there'll be more hot fudge sundaes in Utah. I've heard they exist even out there.
Do they allow hot fudge there?
I think they do. Yeah. Non-caffeinated chocolate though.
But do they allow extra hot fudge?
I don't
Because
think
clearly
so.
that's the question I have.
Only for 24 cents extra.
Hey, baby, I got so many quarters for this.
That receipt is going to be framed and hung on your wall. I'm going to give it to you for your birthday next year.
God, I'll probably be dead by then. Let's be serious. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Two fat guys talking football. John Gold, Sam Strong, Jonah Chaz. Did you see the new Jonah animated show?
I heard it was awful.
Yeah, so did I. I'm a little disappointed.
Let's get Chaz and Jonah to link up on a picture, and we'll come in and be cameos.
Deal.
Done.
All right, I mean, guys, thanks so much for watching.
Thanks.